WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Finally, I have a Thomas S. More extended cask finish, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in, this time it's Madeira casks. 96.5 proof, which translates into 48.25% ABV. Now, this line of bourbon is made at Barton's 1792 distillery in Bardstown. I was actually one of the last visitors to actually visit the distillery before they closed up shop. 2009, what was it? 2022 it was. I don't think there's a visitor center at the moment. It belongs to Sazerac. So if you want to go to a visitor center, you go to Buffalo Trace. They do an excellent job. But this man, Thomas S. More, actually built the distillery we know today as Barton 1792. And this tall, sophisticated bottles features imagery that pay homage to the legacy of Thomas S. More. And each label displays the image of a racehorse standing tall, honoring one of More's earliest whiskey brands called the Belle of Nelson, named for the thoroughbred who won the Kentucky Oaks, not Derby, Oaks, in 1878. Now, this is Madeira. We have to go back a tiny little bit in time, all right? So we go back to December 2020. And in December 2020, Thomas S. More came out with a nice little Kentucky straight bourbon finished in port casks. And they came out with a Kentucky straight bourbon finished in Chardonnay casks. And they came out with a Kentucky straight bourbon finished in Cabernet Sauvignon casks. And I actually had the port. I never did a video about it. I took it to a couple whiskey fairs and someone offered to buy the bottle off the table. And I said, okay, good. So I was a little lazy with that. But I did buy it in the States, did bring it over to Germany. I did try it and I liked it. Now, when I was in the States now in December of 2024, all 7 of these products, I've only named 3, there's 4 more. There's the Madeira cask you see here, the Merlot cask, the Sherry cask, and the Cognac cask, which all came out in March of 2022. And my ABC store in Virginia, I was at Virginia Beach, they had all 7 on sale instead of $69.90 for $59.90. And I almost bought all 7. I almost brought them all back to Germany and said, hey, let's do a blind tasting. I should have bought also then a 1792 with about 48%, 49, whatever. And I should have put that in the lot and did a blind tasting with 8 of these. That would have been fantastic. Well, instead I'm doing my own bourbon wood experiment where I have rum, I have cognac chips, I have sherry chips, I have rum, I have Cabernet Sauvignon. So I just took my own whiskeys that I put together and then I finished them myself. And we're doing a blind experiment with 12 different whiskeys over here. That's going to be amazing, but only in German. But this would be, if I lived in the States, that's something I would do. I'd go buy all 7 of these, get a group of friends together, do blind tasting with them, use an original 1792, whatever, with 48, 49 ABV and just see which one we like the best. So I think that's great. I did not find a whiskey-based number for this. I'm so sorry. Oh, did I? Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I did. 212128. Wow, I didn't even mention that in my German video. Shame on me. So Germans love their whiskey-based numbers, even though it is a Dutch invention, not German. So if you go to Rotterdam in the Netherlands, you can actually visit the whiskey-based shop. So one person rated this so far with 84 points here. All right, very, very good. So this whiskey actually has used a variety of different types of Madeira barrels, according to the press release. Now, I can give you the official tasting notes in a second. I'm actually on the Breaking Bourbon website, and they say a product exclusively made in the Madeira region of Portugal. It's an island. Madeira wine ranges from dry to sweet and often can resemble a tawny port because they put it into barrels at very high temperatures and have an extra aging strength because of that. It's a very specific type of wine, and as a result, there are far less Madeira finished bourbons versus other wine finished bourbons being produced. And even I, over here in Europe, have had a few excellent Madeiras. I've had quite a few very good Madeira. Some were just good. I haven't had a bad Madeira finish yet, and that really makes me happy. All right, so I'm going to compare this to something. I always compare it to something, at least. That's my way of doing things. I'm going to compare it to the 43.3%. I don't have any Bartons here. Angel's Envy. Now, who knows? It's probably still sourced, so who knows where they got it from. It might be from Bartons for all we know, for all I know. It still says on the side here, distilled in Kentucky. Bottled by Louisville Spirits Group. Like the bottle. Love this bottle. All right, on the nose. Oh, that has a sweetness and a little bit. I like Madeira. I've had Madeira, just like I've had port wine. I've had ruby wine, port wine. I've had... So the thing that Amarona I've had, that was way too strong for me. I needed to water it down. But a good Madeira, oh, I don't know if you can get your hands on good Madeira, but I like it. This has a little bit more of a caramel touch. Weaker. That's 43.3 versus 48.25. We have here, let's just call this at the moment $70. We have here in Germany 50 euros for this. Goes often for about 50 bucks in the States as well. Good nose. Barton 1792 makes some very good juice. I mean, Sazerac makes very good juice anyways. Buffalo Trace, BTAC, all those things that you can talk about. Yay. And so on and so on. But this is good. I should have bought the rest. Cheers. It's holistic. It's round. It's complete. Interesting enough, it does not burn going down, but it does burn a tiny little bit the cheeks and the back of the throat. There's a little bit of heat up top, but not when you swallow. I had exactly the same experience in my German video, which is, I was like, wow, that's interesting. Oh, there's a sweetness. There's like a grape jelly jam sweetness going on in there. That's good. Just briefly going over here to the Breaking Bourbon. They say on the nose they get apricot, peach, black raspberry, summer fruity slurry, and light. On the palate they have fig, black raspberry, strawberry jam, rye spice, caramel, light oak. And the finish is wave of soft heat up here. Dark fruit, raisin, astringent. I don't get astringent. Dry to a fault. I don't get that here. All right, so Breaking Bourbon said the 2021 batch proved to be all over the map, with the port finish receiving the best scores and the Cabernet Sauvignon being the most flawed. And this one, they actually did not like it. It's 2.5 barrels. So the dryness was too much for them. The official tasting notes here from the press release says, the Thomas S. Moore Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in Madeira cask is described as having sense of complex oak and Madeira wine with hints of tobacco, citrus, and dried fruits, interacting in a fascinating way. The aromas follows through on the palate, adding sweetness and subtle acidity to the mild, slightly soft, yet well-rounded whiskey. I don't get the acidity. The finish is bright, complex, and pleasing. This whiskey was finished in Madeira cask for approximately 2 to 4 years and is the 96.5 proof. I like I like a lot. Now, I've done a bottle share over in Germany. It's all gone. That's that. Just as a comparison, the Angel's Envy. So $50 compared to $70. This feels more, a little bit less intense, a little bit watery. Thin is the word I'm looking for here. That has more viscosity, more thickness, more flavor, more fruitiness. And this has a little bit of the wood astringency that they were talking about over here. There's a little bit of bitterness in this that definitely not here. Yeah, this is going to be a B- whiskey. On a good day, it's a B. But B-, value for money, 70 euros. I'm going to go with a C-. You break it down to 50 euros for these, I would give it a definite C. These are something I don't know if I really would go out and buy all 7 of these just for me. I would go out and buy all 7 of these for a whiskey tasting. As I mentioned, that's what I would do. Invite people over and do a whiskey tasting, figure out what I like, and see how the normal Barton 1792 compares to this. Which one do we like better? Do we even like anything finished or not? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others. And my question of the day is, what is your favorite finished bourbon? Is it a Legend with sherry and red wine and Japanese finesse? Is it one of the Thomas S. More? Is it here Angel's Envy? What is your favorite bourbon? Please write it down in the comments. Really would love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.